Before the Civil War, King Cotton ruled. The American South grew 3/4 of all the world's cotton. It was cotton that had made the South rich, cotton that employed 3/4 of all slaves, cotton that had been the nation's greatest source of money from abroad. Financing the Civil War had left the nation deep in debt. When the war was over, there was a quick and sure way to pay off the national debt and get the Southern economy back on its feet. The answer was to restore the great plantations to their original owners and get the cotton back in the soil. But the 13th Amendment had ended slavery. So how would they grow it? The freedmen had no intention of going back to work in gangs under white foremen, and whites had no cash to pay wages. So they worked out a new labor system called sharecropping, based on credit. The deal was that the landowner would provide the land and supplies. The black farmers would grow the cotton, tobacco, and other cash crops, and at the end of the season, when the crops came in, they would settle up accounts and split the profit.
But there were problems that attended the system of sharecropping because the items that the landowner had made available to them on a loan basis were made available at very high interest rates. And if they did not come up with a harvest that was large enough, they went into the next year indebted. And that could be compounded by the fact that we're talking about sharecroppers who were by and large illiterate, but the books were kept by people who were more literate than them and the people who employed them. And that provided an opportunity for their further exploitation. So the end result was a system now that kept people constantly in debt and literally tied to the land.
Continually in debt, many Southern sharecroppers lived in conditions little better than slavery. A Southern Homestead Act passed in 1866 did enable a few thousand freedmen to get land, but this was only a drop in the bucket. And so back into bondage, many